fullness of Jesus, the glory of Jesus. Because so many are locked into this stereotype, not just of Jesus, but even the Christian life. I would venture a guess that most people here this morning have a stereotypical image in your mind of what a Christian is. You have in your mind what a Christian ought to look like, how a Christian ought to behave, things Christians ought to do, things Christians ought not to do. And I would venture a guess that in this stereotypical image, what you ascribe to someone as being, what, a devoted follower of Jesus, I bet it is some humdrum, dour, beat-down individual who is so quiet. And your image of Jesus has no regard for your unique personality. Your unique individuality is a creation of God. See, each and every one of us here are fearfully and wonderfully made. God did not, we are not birthed by a cookie cutter process. It is not even expected in the life of faith that we look the same way, that we behave the same way. Yeah, there are some prescribed behaviors in here, things we ought to do, things we ought not to do. That's a given. But to fully relearn Jesus and to understand Jesus is to acknowledge your individuality, to acknowledge and to embrace your unique personality. To understand that as I go out and I see the crowds, as I mingle with the crowds, as I engage the crowds, as I seek to be the presence of Christ, the only way to do that in a noble, honorable way is to be who I am. Because as you feel comfortable in your skin, as you embrace your unique personality, you're going to be able to engage and to intersect with the lives of people that I never could. And vice versa, with my personality, I can engage with people that you never could. But the worst thing I can do is to go out and to try to be Billy Graham. To go out and have a quiet disposition. To go out with a somber attitude. That's not me. It's not you. Maybe it is you. What I'm saying is, don't stoop to being a copy when God has made you an original. And you get comfortable with who you are only as you truly understand who Jesus is. That he's the one who came to die for you in your uniqueness, so that you might become everything that God has in store for you. So let me ask you this morning, what do you see? How do you see Jesus? As we come to a time of invitation, maybe it's time for you to acknowledge that you need a fresh start in the life of faith. Maybe you need to acknowledge you've learned Jesus in the wrong way. You've put Jesus in a box. Maybe it's time for you to relearn Jesus. How do you see him? How do you see you? It's okay to be you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. If God wanted you to have another kind of personality, he would have given you another kind of personality. But in his providence, he needs the diversity and the uniqueness of each and every one of us so that we might truly be his presence among the crowds. Let's pray together.